Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. I hope all of you are doing well as we dive into video number 2 of the day. I hope all of you have had a good one. If you didn't catch up video number 1 from earlier on, you can go and have a look. But like I said on here, the action is not stopping as long as things are kicking off, which unfortunately for some they are. I mean, off the bat, Spain at the moment, wow, because it's the international break, 6-0 away from home at Turkey. 6! Spain are the only ones looking serious. You know, there's serious and then there's serious. Spain, they've taken absolutely no prisoners whatsoever. They've just absolutely gone on a rout. Unbelievable. So there's that. You can go and have a butcher's on that one. But let's get into the latest. What has happened since earlier on? We spoke about Nico Jackson earlier on today, and the board member of Bayern Munich, right? Younes, who decided to come out and speak and say that what was needed, what was the prerequisite for the £67 million clause to be triggered to make it a permanent move for Nico Jackson. Well, it turns out it's something pretty much impossible, it sounds like, unless something happened to Harry Kane and he was out for a whole season, which probably won't happen, you never know, but he's not looking good. Well, off the bat of all of that, and off we spoke about everything, right? All the information that came out, Nicolas Jackson's agent has decided to speak again. Yeah. So let's hear what he's got to say. And then we'll go from there. Because this is just typical, really, isn't it? Here's what Diomansi Kamara, his agent, has said on Instagram. Again, many talk, but few tell the truth. That's not the topic today. Our only priority is Senegal's decisive match for World Cup qualification. This is a crucial moment for the entire nation. Our path, our ethics, and our way of working are known. First as footballers, and today as advisors to African players. It is time for sacred union. The rest will be dealt with later in due time. End of the story. I don't know why I get the vibe that this guy should just be a philosopher or something, and probably then it won't go well. The vibe that I'm getting is that I don't think even that would go so well. He is speaking at times when there's nothing to say. There's no need to say anything. You know, there's no need to come out with this and just go, oh, you know, few know the truth. And thou that shall be, and thou that shall lie, thou shalt not know the truth. Like some madness that is just like, right, what does that even mean, mate? What does that even mean? There's no need. Yeah, you're not talking about a rumor here. This isn't a rumor. This is the Bayern Munich board member who served as president of the club that is still active in that organization that has decided to come out and tell the world what the clause is, right? You don't need to come on social media and clarify it with us, mate. You got to talk to Bayern Munich and talk to Younes. That's who you got to talk to. You've not got to put out these cryptic messages like this is the WWE and we're waiting for Monday Night Raw to find out what happens. Yeah? Don't worry. We know. We've already got returns kicking off and people coming back and we've got storylines cooking and we've got Monday Night Raw tomorrow. Don't worry. Yeah, don't worry. We've got the lead up to Survivor Series on the way. We've got the lead up to Royal Rumble in January. We've got all of that happening. You don't need to bring some WWE storyline crap into here. You don't need to do that. Let Triple H do that. This is unnecessary. It's so unnecessary. You know? I don't know. I'm getting the vibe that even Nico Jackson is not being managed correctly here. You know? That's just my vibe. The vibe that I'm getting here is just this is not being handled well at all for the player. Because like I illustrated in video number 1, worst case scenario, what happens? Well, Chelsea are not really in a loss here. Okay, Nico Jackson comes back. Okay, cool. He plays one more year in his contract. He runs down one more year in his contract. Okay, cool. Well, even in terms of book value, if Chelsea decided to sell him to someone else for even a little bit less money, Chelsea would still be making profit, considering that this season Chelsea are not paying his salary, Bayern Munich are. So Chelsea are not really in a loss here. As long as Jackson plays some games and he comes back in the summer, what? You don't think that there will be another suitor that will be able to get him for a little bit cheaper? Yeah, there will be. The problem was no one wanted to pay that sum of money in the first place. Bayern Munich might be in a position where they won't be able to afford that sort of thing. Okay, cool. But it's not the end for Chelsea Football Club. However, for Nico Jackson, it's not good. Because it didn't work out for him at Chelsea towards the end. He thought he was getting a move. He's got a move in his head. It's something permanent. And all of a sudden, it might not be permanent. And what happens if he comes back from Bayern Munich? Then what? Well, at that point, it's just loads of uncertainty for the player. And then who knows where he's going to end up? Who's going to put a bid in? Who's going to be interested? God knows. Because at some point, it might just be he has to take who he can get. You know? I'll give an example. If let's say, yeah, a non-Champions League club, a Europa League club decided to come in and try and bid for him, and they offered like 45, 50 million, and Chelsea go, now, you know what, after one more year, we can actually sell that. We can sell him, and with that money, we can actually technically be in a profit. Chelsea might pull the trigger just to rid the player. But for Nico Jackson, what does that do for your career, considering that you were meant to go to Bayern Munich long term? But that's not the case. This is the thing. The loser in this, it's not even Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich have won with this. Realistically, it's Jackson. So how is he being managed? When you start hearing things like this, it's grey waters. It's murky waters. Not very nice. So, I don't know. His agent's trying to come out publicly and make himself look like the high horse here. I just think that there might be mismanagement going on the players' end here. It's as simple as that. So, yeah, the loser in this, who could be the ultimate loser in this? Nico Jackson. Now, if Bayern Munich are in a position where they do trigger it at the end of the season, then cool, great, everyone's a winner, fantastic. Chelsea get their money, Bayern Munich have their player, Jackson has a career, fantastic, at a top club, no problem. But is that the case? Like I've said, don't talk to us, mate, to Diomansi Kamara. Talk to Younes and talk to the Bayern Munich board. That's who you've got to sort it out with. Don't need to come on Instagram to let us know about it. You know what I mean? So now, I don't know, maybe in his perspective, he's like, okay, this guy's spoken publicly, so I'm going to speak publicly. Maybe, and that's what I think has happened here. But do you fight fire with fire? No, the first port of call is trying to find water. And if there's no water and your last resort is to fight fire with fire, then cool, I'm going to try and bring the biggest fire here and try and oust your fire with my fire. Maybe that's, you know, we all get hurt, cool. But that's the last resort. And it seems like his agent here has gone to that as his first resort, which is, there's no need. There's no need. So what do you think? Let me know down below. I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear what you think on all of this. And where do you think Nico Jackson stands here? I saw your comments in the first video earlier on. And I think the sentiment that I'm getting from a lot of you is that, yeah, Nico Jackson is the one in the weakest position here. And I agree. I agree. His agent's making it worse here as far as I'm concerned. You know, talk to the board. Considering that Nico hasn't even kicked a ball yet, and we've got this drama already. Let me just put this out there. The agent's not helping himself right now for his client to be signed by Bayern Munich if it's starting like this. I'm just saying that. It's not a good way to kick things off. And yes, maybe Bayern Munich have triggered that sort of reaction. Cool, but you got to play the long game here. Your client's career is not in jeopardy here, but it's in the balance, right? Your client, what you're getting. I mean, if what Younes is saying is true here, and you had to pay 3 million euros out of your own pocket just to get the move, I mean, that's not great. That's not a great agency. I'm gonna just say that now. That's not, you know, yes, he got the move, but did he get the move? We don't know. So this is what I'm saying. Talk to him. Don't talk to us first. Anyway, let's see what happens. In relation to all of that, I'm sure we'll find out at some point what's going on. And then by the end of the season, we'll know for sure. So let me know your thoughts down below. Now, Blueco have decided that they might be interested in something in particular. When I say Santos, what do you think? You think Andre Santos? Well, when I'm about to show you what I show you, don't think Andre Santos. Think of the other lot. Blueco, Chelsea and Strasbourg owners is one of the parties interested in Santos. In July, there was a meeting between the president of Santos and members of the multi-club group in the United States. It's just conversations at this point. Interesting. Obviously, Santos referring to the Brazilian club, the renowned Brazilian club, and Blueco might be in a position here of interest to purchase Santos and bring them into the multi-club model. Now, this would be a good acquisition in terms of the hierarchy, because some people say, let's have a few jokes here, yeah? Let's say that the Blueco hierarchy right now is Chelsea, Strasbourg as like the B team, Brighton is the feeder club, right? And Arsenal is the retirement home, yeah? that's the hierarchy. That's the multi-club model we have at the moment. But if we're talking logically, right? Instead of having to constantly go to Brighton, which so far I have to say, and this is where, you know, unlike my thoughts on Brighton before, now we've got to be honest and go, no, you know what? The players that have come out of there, it's actually worked out pretty well. Bar Robert Sanchez, and even then we'll see what happens. But if we don't have to constantly go to Brighton, and we can look at a team like Santos that brings through just some unreal Brazilian talent, right? I mean, just creme de la creme when it comes to plucking out footballers that have been undiscovered, that no one knows about, but are full of talent and full of flair. You might get other situations like Esteval, right? And that's something that would be pretty handy, even financially, pretty handy. So having a team like Santos right there, and even those players at Santos that know there's a pathway directly to Chelsea Football Club, you know, via Strasbourg sometimes, even Strasbourg for them is like, whoa, that's something that could help really, really well. So at the moment, conversations only, but I think it would be good to have a team like Santos. You get first dibs straight into Brazil. Why not? Some of the most talented footballers in the world that come out of there. I think that would be good, you know? So let me know what you think. Conversations at this point, nothing too crazy, nothing too serious. But let's see where it leads. Let me know your thoughts down below. Now, we spoke about this player yesterday, and it's now done. So here's the latest on Andre Onana. Andre Onana agrees to join Trabzonspor. Here we go, says Fabrizio. All contracts are now signed on player side, waiting on counter approval from Trabzonspor and travel next week. Deal done on loan from Man United as revealed on Saturday. No buy option or loan fee. No loan fee. So Man United got nothing for it. I mean, that just tells you everything you need to know. But who's the winner in this? It's Onana. And why? Check this out. Andre Onana has now signed his Trabzonspor contract, as Fabrizio called. As revealed earlier, Onana gave his green light to the move. Formalization from all sides expected within 24 hours. Exclusive detail, Onana will earn more than at Man United due to the sign-on and bonuses offered by Trabzonspor. That is wild. Andre Onana, you should count your blessings, mate. You should absolutely count your blessings. You have managed to somehow find a way with the form that you was in, with all due respect, which was catastrophic, but you have somehow managed to find a way out of Manchester United and with more pay. You're the luckiest footballer on the planet, mate. Andre Onana, you have pulled off an absolute worldie here. Talk about worldie when it comes to saves. Mate, you have pulled off a worldie of a transfer here. My advice to you, mate, don't go back. Don't go back. If you can sign permanently at Trabzonspor, do it. You're getting more money, great. You're playing all the time, great. Get your stocks back up, my friend. Because you've been atrocious at Man United, but let's be fair. We understand that Man United are also part reason here because there's a lot of catastrophes going on at that football club and a lot of players being held back. I'm sure Onana's no different, but I don't think he's helped himself. I think out of all the players where you can blame a player, Onana's probably number one on the list. But he's found a way out and with a higher salary. Respect. 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 Fair play to Onana. He's pulled it out of the bag. Good on him. Good on him. So, Onana heading off to Turkey, Trabzonspor. Let's see what happens. Unbelievable. Let me know your thoughts on that one. And do you think he's pulled off a worldie, or do you think this will end in flames? I don't think it will. I think anywhere is right now better than United. So let's see how it goes for him. Good luck to him. Good luck to him. He's escaped. He's the one that got away. Good on him. Now, Tottenham. Daniel Levy got dismissed, sacked, resigned, whatever you want to call it, right? Apparently he didn't even know until when the day came. So that for me sounds like sacked. But, and this is where we were starting to get worried about Tottenham. Like, are they starting to get things in motion? Are they going to start upgrading things? Because if they are, we got to take them seriously. Well, the rumour is Tottenham could be for sale. Are they? Well, here's the latest. So an exclusive from Mark Kleinman. and if I'm not mistaken, off Sky, as it says in his handle, he still is off Sky, Sky News, saying, exclusive, a vehicle controlled by Amanda Staveley, the former Newcastle United FC joint owner, is expected to issue a statement tomorrow saying it does not intend to make a formal offer for Tottenham Hotspur amid heightened speculation in the wake of Chairman Daniel Levy's exit. Goes on to say, in this, the no-bid statement issued after discussions with the UK takeover panel will be subject to the usual caveats relating to the emergence of a rival offer or an invitation to bid from the board of Spurs majority owner ENIC. Now, for some of you, that means absolutely nothing whatsoever. Or for some of you, that just sounds like a lot of jargon. Well, here's Mike Keegan to basically lay down what's going on. So, sources close to Lewis family insist that Spurs are not for sale. Comes on the back of Sky News' story that Amanda Staveley will tomorrow release a statement declaring she is not launching a bid. It's a requirement of UK takeover rules, which Spurs are subject to because 13% of shares are publicly traded, to state your intentions when speculation hits a certain level. You learn something every day. I didn't know that. And neither did he. But it's a requirement of UK takeover rules to state your intentions when speculation hits a certain level. Oh, wow. And this is because Spurs are subject to it as 13% of shares are publicly traded. I'm guessing, is it publicly traded companies only that have to state intention? I'm guessing so because they're publicly traded. That kind of makes sense. So this is why Amanda Staveley is going to release a statement saying that she's not intending to put in a bid. And according to the Lewis family, seems like people close to them say that Tottenham is not for sale. Well, if they're not for sale, let's see who they hire. Who's going to become the new chief executive officer? Who's going to be the new CEO at Tottenham Hotspur after Daniel Levy? Is it going to be someone competent, someone proper? Or is it going to be someone even worse, maybe? Who knows? Because I know a lot of you, especially the Chelsea lot, are like, nah, we don't need to worry, it's Tottenham. Listen, when things change in an organisation, that name is it's just a name at that point. You know, when the people change and things are done differently, that name just stands there as a name. It doesn't mean that what was going on in the past has to resume. Now, if they get someone worse, then great. The history of the Tottenham continues. But if that family, if Tottenham and the hierarchy are going, no, you know what, we got to start doing things properly now, let's do things seriously, and they actually do it, that's what we've got to be careful of. Because Tottenham right now have had a banging window. They've got a manager that seems to be, at the moment, it's too early, but a manager that seems to be, you know, clicking with the squad right now. Let's see how far that goes. And even tactically, what can Thomas Frank do? There's a lot to prove. But on top of that, the players that they've actually brought in are top players. Let's not kid ourselves. Kudus is not rubbish. Simons is not rubbish. You know, there's players that they've brought in here that are respectable. So, what's the intention? Is it going to end up better or is it going to end up worse? Well, time will tell. Let's wait and see how this one's going to pan out, and then we can go from there. But eyes on Tottenham for now. Eyes on them. Let's see what they do. How do you think they're going to do? Let me know down below. And to wrap up, Bayer Leverkusen look like they're about to hire a new manager, and it looks like they've gone in the complete other direction of what they intended after Xabi Alonso. Perhaps, maybe in the same sort of direction that they went in with Xabi Alonso, which is this. Kasper Hjulmand is currently the top favourite to become the new head coach of Bayer Leverkusen. Talks are advanced and a new coach is expected to be presented next week. The 53-year-old Dane is currently without a club and is set to succeed Erik ten Hag, provided nothing extraordinary happens. Now, a lot of us don't actually know this manager. And this is what I mean. When Xabi Alonso was given a chance, no one expected anything from him. Look what happened. When Erik ten Hag came in, it's like, okay, now this guy's got a CV, kind of, you know, especially with Man United and all of that. That didn't work after 2 games. So are they going down the route of slight experimentation, but someone unproven and someone that is, you know, not regarded as an elite gaffer, but could deliver? Who knows? Well, it seems like football clubs are going in that direction. A lot of football clubs seem to be going in that direction now. Of, you know what? It's not about the name anymore. It's not about what has this manager done. It's about what this manager can do right now. And what can he show to us that he's willing to do, and will that fit what we want in the club? And maybe this is going to be his stepping stone. He was manager of Denmark for 4 years and did win a Norwegian league with the same team that Graham Potter managed at one point. That's his history as a gaffer, really. He's been a coach for a long time, 53 years old. Can he do something with Bayer Leverkusen? Perhaps. We know nothing about the geezer. So let's keep an eye on him. Let's keep an eye and see what kind of job he does. But it seems like this is someone that's going to come in with basically no pressure, because no one really knows anything about him, unless you're from Denmark or you're from Norway or you're from Germany and know a little bit about him, perhaps. But apart from that, not much else. So I wanted to highlight this because, like I said, it seems like clubs are going down the route of, we don't need to get who is the best manager in the world right now. We need to get a manager that we believe is going to be competent and is going to deliver what we are looking for with the players that we have, and we need to see if that merges correctly. It's a similar way to the way that Chelsea went in from Maresca, and none of us thought it would end up the way that it's starting to look now. It's similar to even some other managers, you know, where it's like, oh, no, you know what? This guy's actually all right. Well, maybe for Bayer Leverkusen, this guy might actually be all right too. Let's see. Do you know anything about him? And if you do, let me know in the comments. Much appreciated. But let's wrap it there. Let me know your thoughts on everything, including Nico Jackson. Mainly, you can let me know in the comments what you think on that. Onana and everything else discussed. I'd love to hear it. Thank you all so much. See you guys tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe, notification bell on, and we'll be here for another double. So I'll catch you then. In a bit, people. Look after yourselves. Talk to you tomorrow. Take care and peace.